Due to the graphic nature of its content, listener discretion is advised.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Mike, Juslin, and Bennett are sitting down to hang out and crack some cans, chill, relax, bullshit. What's going on, you sons of bitches? What are you up to?
I'm sitting here listening to you rant.
Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everybody. Am I the only guy who thinks this dude's doing barrel rolls in his grave right now? He's just like, Jesus Christ, look at what is going on in America. Can't we all just get along?
Can't we?
I think you might be correct.
Right?
I do.
I mean, I was pretty young when the riots happened in '92, but I remember what Rodney said.
Hey, all I know is I was knee deep in them.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, I
were
was
you out there with like shields?
No.
That'd be the shit.
But I was actually at home on leave, and I actually.
So wait a minute, you were knee deep in the riots in '92.
No, listen.
Okay.
Not in Cali.
In Wattsville.
Riots. There were riots basically everywhere. I mean, they had them just out in California is what they covered a lot, but there were disturbances everywhere. And disturbances everywhere.
Hello, white people.
I was in
bingo night at the old folks' home really got wild that day.
Disturbances.
I was driving through Bridgeport, Connecticut, I was listening to it on the radio as they announced the verdict, and I shit you not, wasn't in the best area of town.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yeah, man. That I shit you not, freaking, just dudes started pouring out of these two bars that are like kitty corner to each other, and I was at the stoplight, and I didn't know what the hell to think. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, dudes were like yelling and screaming and like, I mean, I had just heard the verdict, but it didn't really click that these dudes were like flipping out over it because it's so like, doesn't make sense to my psyche.
Fucking pissed.
And at that point, I just kind of like hit the gas. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Pulled over like down. 4 or 5.
Then when I was going to this girl's house. I got to her house and we got in and they're watching the shit go down in L.A. And I was like, oh my God, man, that could have been me, like Reginald Denny getting pulled out of the freaking thing. That's what was going through my 18-year-old mind at that point.
Were you like rocking a sweater vest? I mean, like, what was going on here in Bridgeport, Connecticut at this moment in time? Is Bridgeport, Connecticut like the Gary, Indiana of New England? Is that what's going on?
Actually, at the time it was, but now your home state has the illustrious town. So this is what I'm saying. At that point, Bridgeport, Connecticut was the largest town in the U.S. city in the United States to have declared bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
So at that point, now it's your fair Detroit. But anyway, without that being said,
dude,
I'm just saying, at that point, that was the largest city. It was about 200 and something odd thousand people living there, and I mean, the whole coastal side of Connecticut is one giant city anyway. From Bridgeport all the way to New Haven, it's basically like one big city. It's just got different board,
Our Bridgeport.
I remember
could beat up your Bridgeport.
the mean streets, and there I was on the mean streets of Connecticut. People were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?"
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, and the Red Wings made the playoffs, and I was like, "Are we gonna get tickets if it's for any home games?" And everybody in the kitchen. Right? It was at some like get together. My family members were over, aunts and uncles. Everyone in the kitchen's like, no, fuck no. We ain't getting within an hour of Detroit, circa 1992. This ain't happening. Because you got to remember, NHL playoffs are right around that time frame. It's the end of April. Like, yep. Still, nowadays, the folks don't like going to Detroit. I don't really mind it. I enjoy it.
Well, you're just a city boy.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're a city boy, born and raised in
South Detroit?
No,
I am not.
Not there.
No, not there.
Not there.
Somewhere near.
Oh, dude, I found this thing online the other day. While we're talking about Michigan, I was researching some shit just for the fun of it about Midland, right? My hometown, where I was born and raised.
In Midland, Detroit.
Not 2 hours north of Detroit. And so I was reading up on it and stuff, and somebody had mentioned my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Sarah, whom I love and adore. Shout out. She had mentioned that Kurt Vonnegut, who I did not know existed until she made mention of the quote saying that Kurt Vonnegut called Midland the asshole of America. Which, I mean, is like serious accusation. So I dug a little deeper, and I have not read the book Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut, but supposedly like Midland City and the Center for the Arts and stuff like that is actually how do I put it? A negative interpretation or a dark adaptation in the book. And that is what it is based on, is in my hometown. So I'm like, holy shit. So I dig a little deeper and I find this thing called Uncyclopedia. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes.
So it's like, right. So it's like the Onion of encyclopedias and stuff. Dude, it's hilarious though. Whoever the fuck wrote this thing had to have been a local. Because it's going through different places like Yaya's Chicken. Any Midlander knows what that is. Just this like greasy spoon. Same thing with Lil Chef and all of these different little iconic things. Posted on my wall recently. And a few of the hometown local crowd were passing it around, having a laugh. It's good times. Because you want to know what really... Here's why I bring it up, and this is why I even mention it. It's because Detroit, Saginaw, Flint, unfortunately, I mean, they're just... Oh, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know the answer. Flint recently, right now, my God, they're making national news. They diverted away from Huron water. So, like, all of our water comes from the bottom of Lake Huron in the state of Michigan. Found this out when I was a kid. This is actually why we have some of the cleanest drinking water. God knows what they add to it afterwards, but it comes out of the bottom of Lake Huron. And so Flint, I think, to save money or something along those lines, switched over to pulling their water out of a nearby river. And so the water was passing through lead piping and stuff like that. It's getting kids sick. I mean, this is a serious ordeal that is going on right now. And we're not usually on current events. But Flint, they at one point in time, I'm pretty sure, were the murder capital of America. Now, Gary was, Chicago, Detroit for a time, all of these other different areas. Midland, not the murder capital. Rich Whiteville, not rich. Whiteville. I'll say Whiteville. But it's different, man. It's crazy. Crazy times that are going on here in America. All across. And then at the same time, people are like, do you know that a tsunami could hit Hawaii? And I'm like, I would feel really bad if a tsunami hit Hawaii. But I can't really sit around and worry about that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say that I don't give a fuck if Hawaii got hit by a tsunami, because I do. Yeah, it'd be bad. But it's like 3,200 miles away from where I live. So it's kind of like, meh. It's not really on my radar. Right. I live in a state the size of a European nation. Can we worry about what's happening here?
So when we visited your fair hometown of Midland, Michigan,
oh Lord,
a few months back.
Yeah, that was cool though.
It was cool, but when we got
it was right in the middle of the land.
Yeah. When we got the tour, the penny tour, literally. No pun intended there. The penny tour of Midland, Michigan. About partway through, I started getting a weird, how do I say it? It's very, very engineered.
Yes.
The whole city, as in scary almost like Illuminati type shit.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's why there's a bridge called
Right.
Three
The
Corner
Tri-Bridge.
Tri-Bridge.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Thank you.
At the end of the day, I say this. It's just there's this air of weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, there's a lot of, it's like suburbia where there shouldn't be suburbia. It's like 80. What's the population? 80 something thousand.
Yeah, about 86.
Literally out in the middle of,
The Midland.
Midland, straight up. Basically, the main employer is Dow, right?
Correct.
And it just is a little creepy. There's like a whole kind of like air about it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta.
That it's very. I can't put my finger on it, but that's the air I got. Is like, wow, this is a little like
unsettling.
Like something could go down right now, hard.
Right, but it's like there's this like
artificial.
giant.
But it would be like a bunch of people wearing like sweater vests coming after you instead of
Correct. It's kind of like almost like that's the town that the purge happens in.
Yes, that's
right,
exact. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's this
Pleasantville.
underlying. Yes, Pleasantville. There's like this underlying air of, don't come in here. You don't belong here. If you don't belong here, we're gonna fucking, pitchfork your ass. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? Either get with the program, robot boy, or you're done. Does that make sense?
Most definitely.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, man, really fucking weird. I mean, but it's a quaint little town. But that's the thing. It's not a town. It's not. It's got the population of like a city, but yet it's
right.
not.
Yeah, it's a city.
But it's not.
But it's
not really.
Correct.
So that was a little weird too, because usually a little city like that's at least got like a downtown where there's a building, that's got more than like 4 stories.
Right. So I'm reading the recent updates. The county, it's 86,000. The population,
42,181 as of 2013, right?
Yeah, are you on like Wikipedia or something?
I am.
Okay, so check this out. I am on Sperling's Best Places to Live. So my hometown has got numerous like accolades. Dude, I about have a heart attack whenever the fuck I see something. I'm like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. So anyway, that's all beside the point. What I find very unique about it, and you've got to go back to the history of it, is it used to be the center of Indian trade due to where the 3 rivers, well, it's 2 rivers, the Chippewa and the Tittabawassee come together. So there was fur trade there already. And then you had the French and the Indians who were fur trading there. And then you had the English as they were coming in. Believe it or not, the very first shot fired in the War of 1812 and the first battle.
What year was that war in? Sorry, just being an asshole.
Right, was in the Straits of Mackinac, near the fort of Mackinac. So there's the fort on the island and then the fort that's actually there. Anyhow, and that's all relative to the fur trade and what was going on prior to like the 1820s and through the 1840s when eventually it all shut down. And without going into the history lesson, when it did shut down, it just kind of like fell apart, was a barren, had like a little downtown, whatever. And then in the 1870s, when Dow went up there, and actually, because of the river, he was using it to power his, mill or what have you. And then eventually it became a chemical plant and stuff like that. And they have symbiotic corporations, Cabot corporations over there, Dow Corning. But it's also, like Dow is who invented napalm. They invented Agent Orange.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's some evil shit. My mom, she works at the hospital. My old man worked for Medtronic, so they're both in the medical field. They don't really deal with it. But, man, everybody who's there, they're employed by Dow. And it's funny, too, if you're wondering, a little side note, in Apocalypse Now, when they're doing the filming where they're like raiding the beach or whatever and everybody's surfing and shit, on all of the 55-gallon drums, there's a Dow diamond, like their logo. Because that was all the Agent Orange that was just kind of like laying around, I guess.
And then I think, didn't Monsanto buy that from Dow?
They got so fucking sued over all of that shit. It was unreal. So, I mean, lawsuits are still going on. And that's... they probably will forever. I mean, it's right up there with asbestos and all of these other different things that have been ongoing class action lawsuits, But that being said, Uncle Sam got exactly what he asked for. Hey, we need something that does this. Okay, here, it does this. They test it, they do it. They don't know at that moment in time that there's long term. Well, there is. So I'm not making an argument here or there. I'm just saying that the product that was asked for fit all of the specifications at that moment in time for that order, all of that other stuff.
Right.
So it's crazy though, man. My heart goes out to those folks. My Lord.
That's the thing, is we still haven't learned that lesson with all the shit, all the chemicals, all the different crap that we use on a daily basis. There's still, we wonder why everyone's so unhealthy and always, but it's all the chemicals and all the shit that we end up getting exposed to, not only in the military, which is 10 times worse than civilian life, but also civilians through food additives from assholes like Monsanto to, Dow dumping shit everywhere, and it's crazy. It's not a normal time to exist. When the rain starts melting your skin in places, there's something definitely wrong with the world.
My dog keeps pissing in my house.
Oh, you gotta love that.
Keeping along with the chemical agents.
You gotta love that.
Dog, bitch.
Well, see, the difference is now is that you have I won't call it an educated population, but at least they have the ability to become informed if they so choose. And you have a lot of us who are like, well, maybe I won't eat a Twinkie. And then there's people like me who eat a fucking Twinkie knowing exactly what's in a Twinkie and going like, cream filling all up in my mouth.
Well, you think it's cream filling, but it's really like...
Gillette, what?
Like xanthan gum and D540X and whatever other fucking chemical concoction they could put in there.
Right.
It's got arsenic, a little bit, just to preserve it.
Just a little bit.
So does rice, actually.
Rice has arsenic?
Yeah, a little bit.
Great.
Just a little bit. It's not a big whoop.
Sometimes there are traces of it in rice. Just depends.
Great.
One of the things that I've read a study. It wasn't that? It was a few years ago. It's when at the end of the day, though, like the glyphosates that are in Roundup, which is the number one herbicide used in the world, is known to be poisonous, right? So there's obvious residuals of it in any kind of food that you're eating that is not organic, that's been sprayed with herbicide, right? So one of the things though that makes me it's kind of like common sense in a sense, and there's been a few studies done on it, but the establishment keeps pushing back against it, is the fact that glyphosates kill plants, right? Well, bacteria in a lot of senses are very they're one-celled organisms basically that are very closely related to a lot of the same type of and I can't think of the name, but either way, bacteria grow in your GI tract, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And they've shown that glyphosates affect the bacteria in your gut. So if you're eating pesticides that have glyphosate in it, you're basically destroying your gut flora. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it makes it hard to really, and when your gut flora is screwed up, you're screwed up at the end of the day,
it might experiencing
take years,
that right now.
Correct. And it might take years for it to catch up with you, but like Juslin just said, it's as though it's it's screwing him up right now. So
Oh, you poor bastard.
And at the end of the day, though, it's like, why is it so expensive to eat healthy? Doesn't make any damn sense. Like you said, Mike, you can buy a freaking box of Twinkies, which are probably one of the most synthetic things on the planet when it comes to food, right?
Yeah.
For like, what, under $2, right?
Yeah.
But you can't even buy in a lot of places like an organic head of lettuce you can't even buy for fucking $2. You know what I mean?
Jocelyn, what's that one website that you use?
Carolina Grown.
Carolina Grown.
Yeah, that's a great website, though. It is. I know it. I know that website.
I don't know if all of it's organic, but it is all fresh and it's all nice.
Well, and that's one of the things that they do say too, is that if you can buy local, do so.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing. It's like, when is the farmer's market going to be there? You know, when is X, Y, and Z? You know, like, one of the things that I thought was just absolutely brilliant is there was a vacant Walmart that was just sitting out on the, side of the road or whatever, and folks got the building, or at least the lease or something, and did an indoor farmer's market that held the same hours as regular grocery stores. So you have individual merchants who are occupying, basically like you're just buying a shopping cart worth of stuff as you go. That's it. Instead of everybody lining up at the end of it. So it's not as efficient as a normal grocery store. It's much more flea market oriented or farmers market oriented. But you're buying fresh, local grown produce. So that's the biggest issue is its convenience.
Right.
That's all that boils down. So.
There's this guy who is a entrepreneur. I don't know, you guys may have heard of him in entrepreneurial circles. His name is Mike Dillard. Does that name ring a bell with anyone?
No, it's not, man.
He is he has his own podcast. And hold on, I'm pulling it up really quick just so I make sure I get it right. He runs a podcast that he also has a company called Self-Made Man. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So it's a pretty cool podcast. It's about manly stuff, kind of on the lines of art of manliness and things like that. Well, Mike has gotten into this hydroponics business, right? And he's about to launch a hydroponics company that's all about growing your own food in your own house, and like this self-contained hydroponic system that's for like the normal home, like you and me.
Yeah, it's right? Hydroponic, not aeroponic, like those towers.
No, it's hydroponic.
Okay.
And he's sunk millions of dollars into this, and they're gonna go live not that long from now. And I'm trying to find it, but either way, I actually have an aquaponics system that is it was actually a Kickstarter campaign years ago. I've had it for probably 3 years now, and I grow herbs in it for the house. And literally, we have a beta in a tank that fertilizes the freaking herbs. You can grow lettuce in it and stuff like that, but the plants get too big for the area, so herbs work really good, like cilantro and basil and stuff. And that cost me like $50, So I have pretty much fresh herbs whenever I want them.
That's nice.
It's pretty cool. But this system, I guess, he's trying to tote it as though it's going to be enough food to like feed like a family 3 or a family of 4.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have it advertised, but I've heard him talk about it. He's closing down or getting rid of like half of the businesses that he's been in to go into this business. So, yeah. So there's something revolutionary coming.
Have you seen those aeroponic towers?
Yeah.
AE. Here, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's AERO. Aeroponic tower. These things are freaking sweet, man. They're like 95% more efficient than growing in any other method.
Uh-huh.
Pretty crazy. So
Yeah, I see
they're
it.
tower grow pots. Oh, this one's a hydroponic one.
Well, they have them that are like
Aeroponic.
hybrid, kind of like hybrid,
Yeah.
aeroponic, hydroponic.
Well, what I like about the towers, there are specific aeroponic towers, but it had like a bigger, pot on the bottom, and that's where the water's contained, and then you've got a tower that stems up and basically holes going out either side. And the idea is that you can grow a variety of different types of food in urban environments, on rooftops, actually inside, in your home, just as you would house plants, because they require less water. They're so efficient
Right.
that they only require 5% as much as, a normal plant growing technology. It's pretty crazy.
There's another company that's in New York City, and I don't know the name of it, but I saw it on a like a PBS show, and I want to say it's literally in Manhattan, right? And it's it's a hydroponic. They've got a whole like warehouse, right? And they sell high quality organic vegetables to restaurants in New York, as well as fish that they use in the hydroponic system. So they have like 3 or 4 different varieties of fish that they also sell from, the whole system. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty amazing.
It's weird seeing, like, tilapia hasn't always been the go-to, cheap menu item.
Well, tilapia grown in a farm setting where, now I should say, like the mass-produced farms that they have is not very good for you, because basically they're living off of
poop,
bass shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So they're really out of whack with like their omega fatty acids. But basically, they're living off of the shit from striped bass or these hybrid bass that they grow, right?
Yeah.
And then they eat basically the shit of the bass. So that's not very appetizing.
No.
You know what I mean? But they're very resilient fish. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you go and find the right sources of tilapia, it's pretty cool and, probably pretty good for you. But in the grand scheme of things, the tilapia, the nice cheap bag of tilapia that you're going to go buy at the grocery store probably isn't so good for you. I mean, all you have to do is type it up and like find a thing like Men's Journal. Which I read the article out of there a while ago that talks about it's, yes, we love bacon, but it's at least as bad for you as bacon is because of the way that it's farmed.
Uncured bacon isn't that bad because
that's true, but that's uncured bacon. That's different. As long as you get the nitrates and don't absorb as much of that, you're doing pretty good. But the tilapia, for the most part, not so good. You just have to go through the article because I'm not going to read it on air, obviously. So
really,
I'm still eating that 6-point out of the freezer,
and that's probably some good eats.
Oh. That is the best meat you could possibly ever have. Venison that has been eating like horse pastures.
Cigars and Sea Stories is proud to support and sling Counter-Strike coffee. Counter-Strike coffee, I want you to know, is meant to be drink black. Now, I myself love coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. I went away from black coffee for a little while. Needed the cream and sugar when I was rocking it with the generic blend. Counter-Strike coffee brought me back into the fold in a huge, huge way. They do a great dark roast. I'm a big fan of napalm. That's my fave. Smooth operator is good, though. It can go with cakes and pies, and I got a bit of a sweet tooth. I know a couple of us do, And then also Firewatch. Firewatch, that's going to be the kick in the ass that you need in order to get your day going the right way. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already done so, check out counterstrikecoffee.com. Use promo code CIGARSandC. You will get 10% off. Again, that's counterstrikecoffee.com. Use promo code CIGARSandC to get yourself 10% off.
You know, I was having a conversation the other day about the difference in diet between deer down here and deer up in like Michigan or Indiana type area, and apparently it's a lot healthier because they're eating less corn and less human-made.
Down in North Carolina, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because they're eating like GMO corn and everything up in the Corn Belt there, Illinois. It's part of the reason that they're so much bigger up there too. Justin's completely right.
Yeah, it's funny because, well, there's two different places where I harvested deer as kids. So, out in the thumb of Michigan, for the most part, is farmland. And then when you get into northwestern Michigan, still in the lower peninsula, but up near Leelanau Peninsula, Traverse City, Sleeping Bear Dunes area, that's all, for the most part, wooded. So more often than not, they're like scavenging or they're going around. They're still, don't get me wrong, they're still eating corn, but there's a lot of meadows that are out that way also. What I think is crazy, because I agree, I think that, well, I don't know. I don't want to say that the venison down here tastes any different because honestly I would need a side-by-side taste test, you know what I mean? But which I would love to do sometime. Just throwing that out there. But when I cut
it's got to
up
be the same cut too, because otherwise,
Yeah, preferably both tenderloins. So, and I'm not talking backstrap. I'm talking up inside. Like hunters know what I'm talking about right now. But right. I'll take some backstrap, sure. But yeah, I mean, like, it was crazy because when I cut open the contents of the stomach on that 6-point, it was nothing but grass. That's it. And there's horse farms that are up and down the road, across the way and stuff. So this dude's just sitting around eating just pasture grass, like meadows. And he tastes so fucking good, man. Whew. Do you know the gender of your meat? That's the real question. Not where it came from. Do you know the gender of the animal that you're eating?
Not unless you're getting it from a source you know.
Yeah, not unless you shot that fucker when he was walking through your woods.
Or you actually watch them butcher the cow that you ordered.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I used to do up in New York. I just can't afford to do it now, but I could afford to do it then, and that shit was the bomb. Grass-fed beef right from the farm. Didn't get much better.
Well, and see, the other thing, too, is I enjoy butchering my own meat and going through the entire process from start to finish. So I am the one who put that fucker in the freezer and is now pulling him out of the freezer bags and putting him in the frying pan. I like knowing the whole thing. Cost me one 5.56 round. And some time, don't get me wrong, but it's an enjoyable process. People out... dudes right now listening to this are like, fuck yeah. There are a couple of people who are wincing. I don't, it's whatever.
Yeah, but probably not the majority of them.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you are eating it and you've used the animal and thanked it. So what more can you ask for?
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'm its hugest fan. Yeah.
I love it how, especially in the seafood industry, how they'll change the names of fish to make them seem more appealing or more sexy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like one of the things like tilapia, once tilapia started getting a bad name, they actually start calling it in some restaurants. I think it's called lungfin.
Whose dog is that?
My dog.
You have 4 daughters, right? 4 daughters?
And a female fish, or a female dog. Hold on.
It's out of love, America. The poor bastard. He's got 4 daughters, beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. That's why he's a poor bastard. If they were ugly, he'd be all right. But then he's got a beagle, female beagle.
Ah, shit, dog.
So I was just telling all of our listeners that you have 4 beautiful daughters, which is what makes you a poor bastard.
It's fucking scary shit.
If they were,
I mean, it's not like, once in a while you get like the ugly one. And
right.
we all want to be like, oh no, my children are beautiful. But no, there's some kids out there that are just freaking ugly.
He this.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, my daughters are not any of those.
Right.
So I'm screwed.
Well, start working on the polishing the shotgun when suitors come.
Oh my God, are you kidding me, dog? I'm going to kill this dog. Hold on.
Make sure this makes it through the final edits.
Oh, it will.
Yeah. We need to. Yep. Oh, dear Lord. You gotta love it, man. This is what makes this job great. Just being able... It's not cock back relaxing all the time. Don't get me wrong. We've got a lot of shit to maintain and take care of, and we need to be better at it. Frankly. At least what I'm trying to say is like me engaging with all of you folks. I'm more of a LinkedIn guy. Like it took us a little while to hash out, like Mike probably shouldn't be the Facebook guy because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, Bennett's handling that part. I'm more of the LinkedIn guy, stuff like that. You're going to be seeing a lot more blog type stuff on there as well. I'm writing some creative pieces. I hope you guys share. That'll be cool.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of pokers in the fire. I could be more conducive to communicating, but
oh my God,
did you rubber nose in it, Bennett? Did you just rubber nose in it?
I did. I want to fucking kill this dog right now. I kid you not. Okay, so you heard her barking, right?
Yeah.
Are we recording this?
Oh,
Please
yeah.
say yes.
Fuck yes, we are.
All right.
This is going to final edits.
This fucking dog. You heard her right on air. This little girl's barking. She's barking from outside, right?
Keep in mind, we're talking about her 6-year-old daughter here, right?
Smart ass. No.
No. Oh, okay.
She's an 11-week-old dog.
A beagle.
Eagle, right? But she's good. Like, she's actually really good being potty trained. The problem is, so she's barking at me. I don't know if she's rebelling because I'm not paying attention to her or what the hell it is. But I just let her in. You heard her barking.
Yeah.
I just let her in. She walks right over and just pisses. Right on the freaking floor. Now, the majority of my house is hardwoods, right? So that's fine.
Yeah.
Easy cleanup. Doesn't this little bitch go freaking piss right on one of the rugs? I want to choke her out. Fuck. How did I get roped into this bullshit?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Sometimes the game comes to you, my friend.
Dude, you are so outnumbered. I can't imagine.
It's fucking asinine.
I can't imagine. You're rolling deep over there. That's a reality show waiting to happen.
That's why it's called the Tan Family Circus.
Well, but what I love about it is that it's like Major Dad. You know what I mean?
No, it's not even like that because I don't have shit. I got no juice in this house. Major nothing. More like fucking.
Yeah, but that was the thing about Major Dad too.
No, it's freaking.
We don't care that you're a feel-great officer.
Shit.
I'm thinking it's names for your reality show. Estrojar.
Shit. So that's really fun because that's gonna be hell even worse. This is why I have to have land somewhere,
right,
like a tiny home or a camper or something on it, so I can literally go escape for 5 days a month.
What do you do? What do you do out there, honey? I just cry.
I just cry.
I cry.
I sit and I cry.
I drive to the mountains and I cry.
Eat grilled cheese sandwiches. That's it.
Meanwhile, cut scene to the world's greatest fucking tree house. We're rocking out on ATVs, shooting pool and shit. Archery practice, longbows. Dude, that was another thing. Oh my God. I saw this fucking thing on Pinterest the other day where some some bros were taking like floaties or whatever, like black inner tubes, and they were putting flammable shit in there and blowing it up from the shore using bow and arrow. And I'm, oh my God, I was so fucking jealous. Can you imagine filling up an inner tube with a flammable gas and just launching a flaming arrow at it?
Yeah, just blow shit up.
Just put shit tons of like inner tubes out in the middle of the lake, launching flaming arrows at them.
We're so on a terrorist target watch list because we're talking about this shit. We've already been on the list, but anyway. Hey, because you know they're listening to my phone calls. I've told you about this already.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, they listen to all of us.
Did you hear about this though, Sebastian?
No, what happened?
All right. So it's been happening for about the past.
I mean, they're listening right now. Hey guys, stop masturbating and listen up because we're playing your story right now.
I got your fucking number, bitches.
I would say this shit in public. It's just people don't want me to fucking say this shit in public. I'll be the asshole who walks around on my cell phone. I'll be that guy. Why not? Fuck it.
Sure.
It's it's because the average citizen doesn't want to hear me run my suck. I mean, that's why. That's
Well,
but for some reason the NSA loves it. What's up?
At the end of the day, all they're gonna actually see is 3 guys trying their best to stay sane and add value in whatever capacity they can.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah.
So
well, and if they run any background search, they're just gonna be like, dude, that Penny guy watched a lot of porn. Shit, John. Just I mean, it's like it's business and then it's smut. Like, how is he even claiming this on his taxes?
Right.
You know, there's
how
that.
How does that happen?
How the fuck?
Well, you are usually on the phone with somebody while you are, squeezing.
2 hands on the keyboard. 2 hands. You know what I'm saying?
He's just got the rig hooked up.
It's a fleshlight, some bungee cords, and I'm just
fucking, it's all hooked up. He can just stand there at his Veridesk. It's all hooked up under the Veridesk.
Veridesk getting another free shout out.
It's like shooting out of a Huey. There's just a fleshlight in between 2 crisscross ropes. I'm just going to town on it.
Oh God!
In the middle of business meeting.
As he's on the phone with the headset on, and he's fucking surfing the internet.
You just can't take a break for that kind of thing.
Talk about multitasking.
See, that's how I get so much shit done in the day, man.
Shit.
It's how you stay. That's how you stay balanced during stressful moments.
Luckily, none of my kids are here and shit, but my dog's out there where I can't see her pissing everywhere.
Well, and it's like the phones are ringing a little bit, in the background and shit.
She's actually in her bed. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
Gotta love that. Fuck. See, life happens. Like, life occurs. It's like for those of you who are commuting right now, maybe you're laughing along. Maybe you're like, these guys are unstable. And, we should probably forward them help time now. You might be right.
I'm pretty much agreeing with the instability.
Who the fuck are you calling unstable?
Hey, it's all aimed inward with all of us. So it's just, hey, our bowels take the brunt of whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
fuck.
So that's the funny thing. All right, so we were just talking shit about the NSA.
Do you hear that?
Yep, that's it. There it is.
There it is. Do you hear it?
Are you...
They're clicking
They're
in.
masturbating.
Yes, but listen to me. We were just talking shit about the NSA, right? We were just talking shit about the NSA.
Fuckers.
I just no shit. I just got a phone call with a blank message with nothing from Annapolis, Maryland. They're not NSA's in Fort Meade, but Annapolis is close enough.
Hi guys.
Hey.
So on my cell phone, yeah.
Listen to the
Right
podcast.
Well, if you listeners out there haven't already done so, go ahead and click subscribe. Give us a rating, review us. We're trying to bump up on iTunes on that on the new and noteworthy. So if you wouldn't mind, leave us a review on there. Take a minute out of your day. It'd be cool. Share with your friends. Share around the world. Go all over the place. It'll be awesome. Look us up on iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM. Please share us across the board. Thank you so much to our sponsors out there: Counter-Strike Coffee, VeteransList.us, Onnit. Veridesk is one of them. I love my Veridesk. I'm going to keep using it and write a review about it. Actually, on Cigars and Sea Stories, you'll see a blog pop up on there. And a few of the other sponsors that we've got out there as far as First Data, Amazon, eBay. Did I miss anybody? What else? Did I miss anyone?
Counter-Strike, right?
I said,
I'm actually going to grab a cup in a second. I'm looking at it in my coffee pot, and that's the truth. I got some smooth operator in the coffee pot.
Nice.
Because as Mike would say, that's my flavor.
10% off Counter-Strike coffee when you enter in coupon code Cigars and C. You will also get 50% off a featured membership on veteranslist.us by entering coupon code Cigars and C. And that's going to be our long-running coupon code. I'm going to try to get it on all of the other sponsorships. If you guys are out there and you think that there might be another really good fit sponsor-wise, dude, tell us.
Hey, all I know is that the NSA guys listen to this shit. They need coffee and they need Alpha Brain.
They do.
So get off your asses and buy that shit.
And use our coupon codes too, please, while you're at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for listening, America. God bless America and no one else. Take care. Be well. And Juslin, cue the music, homie.